You know, in some of the world's great mountain ranges, there's this fascinating break, a gap, that has channeled everything from ancient trade to the very weather that defines a continent. We're going to dive into the story of the Palakkad Gap.
So, to get a sense of this, you've got to picture the Western Ghats. Think of it like a giant wall of mountains running all the way down India's west coast. It's this massive, almost unbroken barrier standing against the Arabian Sea. But then, poof, it just vanishes. Seriously, for a stretch of about 30 kilometers, that huge mountain chain just opens up. It leaves behind this massive, incredibly low pass.
And this is way more than just an empty space on a map. This gap has acted like a gateway, funneling wind, entire cultures, even armies for thousands of years. So, what exactly is the secret of the Palakkad Gap? Let's find out.
All right, so before we can really get the gap, we have to talk about the wall it breaks through. We're talking about India's Great Climate Wall. I mean, on either side of this gap, you have these massive mountains. We're talking peaks soaring over 2,000 meters high. It is, in every sense of the word, a true climate wall. And this wall has a really important job. You see, when the monsoon winds come blowing in from the sea, they slam into this barrier. That forces them upwards, and they dump all their rain on that western side. By the time the air makes it over the top, it's totally dry, and that creates what's called a rain shadow on the eastern side.
So you've got this huge climate-controlling wall, except for this one really mysterious break in the whole thing.
And that right there is the Palakkad Gap. It's this wide, pretty flat corridor that just slices right through the mountains, linking the state of Kerala on the coast with Tamil Nadu on the other side. And the difference in height is just wild. You go from those 2,000-meter peaks, and then the floor of the gap just plummets down to only 140 meters above sea level. It's a massive natural hole in this giant wall.
So the big question is, how did this thing even form? Well, geologists have a couple of main ideas. Theory one is that ancient rivers just carved away at the rock over millions of years, which caused huge landslides. But the other theory, wow, it's much more epic. It suggests the gap is basically a geological scar left over from when India literally ripped away from Madagascar, way back when they were part of the supercontinent Gondwana.
Okay, but this natural corridor wasn't just some geological quirk. For thousands of years, it was a super strategic gateway for people.
I mean, this place has been a major prize for ages. You had ancient traders, Romans, and Arabs using it to haul spices and gems to the coast. Then it became a literal battleground, with empires like Mysore and the British fighting tooth and nail for control. And even today, its importance hasn't faded one bit. It's a vital path for major highways and railways.
But you know, the gap's most powerful influence might be something you can't even see. We're talking about the wind. So what do you think happens when those massive monsoon winds, instead of slamming into a 2,000-meter wall, suddenly find this huge 30-kilometer wide opening?
Well, what you get is a phenomenon that scientists have a cool name for, the Palakkad Gap exit jet. Basically, the gap acts like a giant funnel. As all that wind gets squeezed through this narrow opening, it speeds up, a lot. And that creates these incredibly powerful winds right down at ground level.
And get this wind jet actually has a daily rhythm. At night, it's at its absolute strongest. It's wider, more powerful, and it stays really close to the ground. Then, during the day, it gets weaker, its reach is shorter, and it extends higher up into the atmosphere. It's almost like a massive natural engine that breathes in and out every single day.
So, as you can imagine, this incredible natural wind tunnel has some really profound and very real effects on the whole region.
And this isn't just some abstract scientific idea. The power of these winds is actually woven deep into the local culture. For generations, the people living on the downwind side have felt this force every day. They've even got proverbs in their language all about it.
Just how powerful are we talking? Well, the wind speed coming out of the gap can be more than 3.5 times stronger than when it went in. The gap is literally a natural supercharger for the wind.
So, why does all this matter right now? Well, for one, that immense wind power has turned the region into a huge hub for wind energy in India. It's still that crucial transportation corridor we talked about. It actually helps moderate the weather, letting monsoon moisture get to otherwise dry areas. And here's a cool one. That clear line of sight through the mountains, it's perfect for radio communications between the two states.
It's incredible, isn't it?
From ancient trade routes to modern renewable energy, the Palakkad Gap just shows how a single feature on the map can shape absolutely everything around it. And it really makes you think, in a world that's so focused on climate and on being connected, what new roles will this ancient gateway, this powerful wind tunnel, play in our future?